Hey everyone, it's Laura here from makingcardsisfun.com, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to make a cute Easter bunny card using the Honey Bunny Boo stamp set from Heffy Doodle. So first I picked out some of the images from the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp these images onto some Simon Says Stamp Ultra Heavyweight white cardstock. I'm using my mini MISTI to stamp all of these images at once, and I'm inking them up with Memento Tuxedo black ink since it's my favorite ink to use to color images with Copic markers. So you don't necessarily have to use a MISTI tool, you can also use acrylic blocks. For the bunnies, I'm using the colorless blender and the NO Copic sketch marker since I wanted white bunnies and I was just looking for a little bit of shading. So first I just added some of the colorless blender to that image, and I'm just doing that to make sure that the gray is really light and it's not too intense. So I'm just going around the edges of my image with my gray marker, and that's it. So, and then for the cheeks, I am using E-O-O-O-O, and then I'm just doing the same for the little tail. So it's really easy to color these bunnies. Then I'm coloring the Easter eggs. I'm using some shades of pink first. I'm using RV14, RV13, and RV11, and I'm just blending these three colors together. Then I'm using some yellows. I'm using Y19, Y18, and Y13. So here I am using three colors. Sometimes I only use two colors. It really just depends on how blendable the colors are. Then for the biggest Easter egg, I am using the same tones of yellow, and I'm coloring the little polka dots with my yellow marker. So I'm still building my Copic sketch collection, and I'm actually looking for like some softer pastel colors since I really love pastel colors. So if you have recommendations, then make sure to leave them in the comment box below. Then for the green Easter egg, I'm using YG17, YG25, and YG23. And I have to find an alternative for this combo since I just really don't see enough difference between the YG17 and the YG25. These two colors really look different on the cap, but then when you use them on paper, the colors look really similar and it's hard to add shading with the marker. I usually have to go in like 4 times in order to get some decent shading. So for the flower, I'm using the same pink and yellow tones, and I'm also using the same green markers. Then for the pink Easter egg, again, I'm using RV14, RV13, and RV11. I really had a lot of fun coloring this egg because these are just really fun images, and I especially like coloring this big Easter egg since it's just such a fun shape, and then those little polka dots, it was just a lot of fun. Then after coloring my images, I'm going to use the coordinating dies to cut out all of them. You can just do some fuzzy cutting, but I just love to use die cut since it's just easy and really fast. So I die cut these hexagon shapes out of some white cardstock and out of Avery Elle pattern paper, the Sorbet collection, and I used the Josephine dies from Winnie to die cut these hexagon shapes. So what I did is I just applied some ATG onto some white cardstock, and then it's just really easy to piece these dies together. So I'm just going to adhere these onto that white cardstock, and then I'm going to cut them out with my EK Success Cutter Bee scissors. So you don't necessarily have to cover like almost the whole paper with your ATG. You can also just apply the glue directly to the images if you want to save some adhesive. So after I cut them out, it's time to stamp a sentiment. I'm going to stamp a Happy Easter sentiment from the same Honey Bunny Boo stamp set from Heffy Doodle. And I'm going to mount my stamps with my mini MISTI tool, and then I'm inking them up with the Wow Ultra Sticky and Slow Drying ink pads. Then I'm sprinkling on some opaque bright white embossing powder from Wow, and then I can just heat set that, and then I have a fun little sentiment in hexagon shaped banner. So now I'm almost done with this card. Actually, it's time to assemble everything together. I'm using the Nuvo craft glue from Tonic to adhere my tiny images. This is probably my new favorite craft glue since it dries clear and it has this really fine little nozzle, so it's really easy to spread the glue. Then I'm using some foam squares to adhere the bunnies, and I'm also going to use those same foam squares to adhere my hexagons onto my note cards. So these pieces just fit like a puzzle, and I think that's just really fun to assemble. I'm using a cream colored card base from Hero Arts today, by the way. I've had this cardstock for years now. I think I bought this when I first started card making, which is almost 9 years ago, so I'm not sure if it's still available for purchase. Then to finish everything off, I'm going to add a clear sparkly overlay with a Spectrum Noir glitter marker, and then I'm also adding a coat of crystal glaze from Tonic. This is also from the Nuvo collection. So that finishes up my card. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to check out my blog post for a linked supply list. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.